Queensland Police and their recruitment quotas. Let's have a look. Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Heiser Says. Now this topic came about from a question someone asked at Jordan Peterson's recent event here in Brisbane about the gender quotas that the Queensland Police have in their academies. I wasn't aware of this. It slipped through the news. I didn't capture it. And I thought I'd look it up and boom, yep, it was true. So women in Queensland Police. This is from their recruitment website. I just got it 20 minutes ago today. So the Queensland Police Service values diversity within its workforce to provide the best policing services to people who live, work and visit the state. The service is an equal opportunity employer. Now just remember that, they're equal opportunity. They seem to go against that. That recognises modern policing in a diverse society requires officers who reflect the Queensland community. Now, if any of you are police officers or you're familiar with that, and you know of any, or familiar with the research that would back up this claim that they need to reflect the members of the community, like we need to have a carbon copy of the community in the police force to actually improve the effectiveness of that force, I would love to see it. Because instinctively, I think that's BS. To achieve this target, at least half of the recruits in each academy intake will be women. Okay, at least half of the recruits. 50%. At least, it could be higher. To encourage more female applicants into policing careers, the Police Commissioner launched the Female Recruitment Strategy. That could be me during the inaugural Queensland Women's Week. 7th to the 13th of March 2016. Now just stepping away and adding my own personal comment to this, I had a roommate we shared a house with, and he was dating a police officer, and she would just tell us how stressful the job is. And just, it's not an easy job, and I have a lot of respect for the people that suffer through it. But adding this to it is it's gonna be no different to quotas anywhere else where they're implemented. It's just simplifying it down to identity politics. That's what it's doing. So the strategy focuses on 10 female police officers from across the state telling the story of the diverse, interesting and worthwhile career paths within QPS. See, you know, this seems fine. I've got no problem with that. If you want to, you know, target women, make a campaign targeting them. If you want to target Aboriginal police officers, make a campaign targeting them. You know, show people who have actually succeeded in this profession without quotas, without artificially needing to get in there. Show people that it can be done. But you will weaken all of these women that come into the force simply by having this quota in there. Even if they're the top of the top, they meet all the requirements, there'll still be that stain. And I feel really sorry for them. I even feel more sorry for the men that are going to miss out because of this quota. So there are also detectives, general duty officers, one of the service's first female motorcycle officers, a dog squad officer, forensic officer, and a senior sergeant from Ethical Standards Committee who are all prepared to tell their story to encourage more women in policing. Like these officers, many other women within the QPS bring a range of skills to the demanding job of a police officer. The training, equipment and support provided to female officers, like their male colleagues, helps to develop the self-confidence, assertiveness and strength of character needed by officers to meet the demands of policing and building a long and satisfying career. That could be me. So these are the attributes: good communication skills, analysis and problem solving, taking responsibility, ability to diffuse situations, compassion, caring, time management, and a willingness to help. Policing is for women who display these qualities and are seeking a career that has variety and challenge, and who want flexibility and opportunity in their employment. So the QPS offers many employment advantages, including generous superannuation, shift work, part-time arrangements, and parental leave amongst its work-life balance principles and policies. These flexible arrangements can benefit women who want secure and stability in their employment and wish for balance in their work and life commitments. A full-time commitment is required during the recruitment training, 25 weeks. Okay, so there you go. So they've got a 50-50 policy in place. The advertising campaign, you know, I don't really mind too much, But the fact that they've got the quota, that's what annoys me. And this was, launched initially in 2016. So now we're in the future, in current year. And 7 News, at the beginning of the year, did a little a report piece on it where they found that Queensland police have struggled to find enough female candidates to meet their 50-50 quota for male and female recruits. And as a result, they've been forced to take women who didn't meet the first round. So, you've got multiple rounds where people will get cut off, so they'll take people on the second round of women. Maybe have to reduce some men from the first round. So I'll link to this clip if you want to watch it. But what I thought would be interesting would be to read through something from Senior Sergeant Philip Notaro. And this is from the actual Queensland Police Union, their monthly magazine. So if we go down here, so it's females in policing, and we'll just read through this to give us some perspective. In the March Journal, I touched on the ridiculous 50-50 recruitment policy that the service has adopted. So you can see here the unions aren't in favour of this. You may recall I pointed out that 65% of the public sector are women, and that 37 out of 56 government departments employ more than 50% women. So it's funny how this marginalised group, so they're discriminating, or the government claims that they can discriminate in favour of women under the legislation we have in place because they're a disadvantaged group. But it doesn't look like they are with regards to employment in government organisations. I wonder how many of those are cushy office jobs. So why is it that there seems to be this belief that women are hard done by, that they are discriminated against, or that it is harder for them than it is for males? It's simply a fallacy. Yet it's used as an excuse in the police service to discriminate against males. You may remember in January, advertisement for Maryborough Tactical Crime, where it is blatantly stated that preference would be given to female applicants. It was subsequently found to be discriminatory and withdrawn. Well, there you go. Look at that. So the Queensland Police Service are discriminating against men in the January advertisement. Then we've seen the email direction in South Brisbane putting a female quota on all relieving at sergeant level. This was withdrawn after protests from the union. It's discriminatory. Well, there you go. So it's good to see that the union is not capitulating to this identity politics movement, at least the police union. Maybe they could influence some of the university unions, I'd hope. Then, of course, we see leadership courses advertised women officers only. Wow. This is terrible. This is much worse than I thought. Locally, we have FYC buddy programs, women officers only. Is that first year constables? If someone can translate that for me, please let me know in the comments. No doubt all the haters will again come out of the woodwork. I certainly have copped some over the last few months, but the fact remains, why should female officers be given an unfair advantage over male officers? So is he copping hate for saying these type of things? To me, everything he's coming out with is perfectly reasonable and fair. But see, I want to live in a society where it's merit-based. That's what I want. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think most people, most average Australians, want a society like that. They want everyone to have a fair go. Okay, you don't want your son growing up wanting to be a police officer for his whole life and then discriminated against by these practices just to meet some arbitrary quota that's pointless. Isn't this why we have anti-discrimination laws, he's asking. Going back to the article by Phil. Isn't this why we've been striving for equality and equity over a long period of time? But it seems a few now want to hijack all the good work that has been done. Those who are driving this agenda, you are a minority. The vast majority of female officers I deal with just want a level playing field. They don't want any special treatment. They just want to be treated the same as the men in the job. It's that simple. All this discriminatory behaviour is simply bringing out the rednecks and causing division in the ranks. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Perhaps that's what those driving the agenda want. Okay, so this is from the Queensland Police Union Journal from May 2018. So it was last year. So it just shows you the criticisms that they have with females in policing. And it's interesting just seeing these statistics with regards to how many women are employed in these government organizations. And union membership, the majority of them, the largest cohort in the unions are middle-aged women, a lot of public service unions. Anyway, guys, I thought I would share that with you. But one more thing before I go. This is the Honourable Mark Ryan. He is the elected member for Morayfield, and he is also the Minister for Police and Minister for Corrective Services. If you think it's appropriate, it might be worth just sending him a politely worded email going, why are we having these discriminatory policies still in place? What is the matrix to identify when these policies are no longer required? How can you justify discriminating against men when women are employed in this department, or a higher extent in all these public services? Do you think it'd be worth doing a change.org petition, guys, and getting some people signing some stuff up? Kind of dubious about those, or maybe an e-petition to the government, or maybe write to your local members. Maybe we should see if the opposition can come to the next election in Queensland, removing that. But yes, if you want to let him know, I'd encourage you to write a nicely worded, polite letter. Don't sound like a nutcase, and you might actually get a response. Guys, thank you all for joining me for this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this fair? Are you a cop? Have you left the force? You over it? Or did you not get in? Guys, like, share, and subscribe. Ding the bell to see my daily updates. And I'll see you all again next time. Bye for now.